राम, राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम, जय जय राम, राम है राम, जय जय सिया राम, राम है राम, जय जय सिया राम। मन में तन में जन जीवन में बसे हुए राम, मन की गठरी खोल के देखो, दिख जाएंगे राम। जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम, जय राम राम जय राम, राम है राम, राम जय राम। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारि, वरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायको फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जान के सुमिरो पवन कुमार, बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर, रामदूत अतुलित बलधामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा, महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी, कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे, शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन, विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर, प्रभु चरित सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे, लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्षि पुर लाए, रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरति सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हारो जस गान।
That which one meditated upon, it protects us. And these mantras, as we dedicate our minds परम ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। बोलिए श्री गणपति गणेश भगवान की जय। So tonight as we begin one lovely bhajan, one very familiar bhajan that all of us we hold dear to our hearts. And tonight we employ technology in the absence of our dholak player. And tonight you will see the importance of the dholak players. पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। वस्तु अमोलक दे मेरे सद्गुरु, वस्तु अमोलक दे मेरे सद्गुरु, कृपा कर अपनायो, पायो जी मैंने कृपा कर अपनायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। जन्म की पूंजी पाई, जन्म जन्म की पूंजी पाई, जग में सभी को आए, पायो जी मैंने जग में सभी को आए, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। अर्चन फूटे चोर न लूटे, अर्चन फूटे चोर न लूटे, दिन दिन बढ़ते सवायो, पायो जी मैंने दिन दिन बढ़ते सवायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, 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 पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। सत की नाम के बतिया सतगुरु, सत की नाम के बतिया सतगुरु, भव सागर तर आए, पायो जी मैंने भव सागर तर आए, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, 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 पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन, राम रतन धन, राम रतन धन पायो। श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। Tonight our topic, as we have seen, is entitled Satsang together with Sadhana, and we'll be looking at some verses, some chaupais from Ramcharitamanas. On the Ramcharitamanas, the lake of the ox of Prabhu Shri Ram, all the leelas of that Lord, that Maryada Purushottam. And as we sing these bhajans, we remember that Lord, Payo ji maine Ram ratan dhan payo. I would have found a gem, ratan, dhan, wealth, in that name, Ram. And this next bhajan, Tere man mein Ram, in my mind there is Ram. Tere man mein Ram, mere tan mein Ram, my body there is Ram. This beautiful bhajan, very traditional as well. मन में राम, तन में राम, रोम रोम में राम रे। राम सुमिर ले, ध्यान लगा ले, जो जगत के काम रे। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। तेरे मन में राम, तन में राम, रोम रोम में राम रे। राम सुमिर ले, ध्यान लगा ले, जो जगत के काम रे। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। माया में तू उलझा उलझा, धर धर क्यों डराए। माया में तू उलझा उलझा, धर धर धूल उड़ाए। अब क्यों करता मन में भीतर माया सा दुराए। माया में तू उलझा उलझा, धर धर उड़ाए। अब क्यों करता मन तेरा जब माया सा बिछुड़ाए। दिन तो बीता जोड़ धूप में ढेर जाए, शाम रे। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। मेरे मन में राम, तन में राम, रोम रोम में राम रे। राम सुमिर ले, ध्यान लगा ले, जो जगत के नाम रे। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। बचपन बीता खेल खेल में, भरी जवानी सोया। बचपन बीता खेल खेल में, भरी जवानी सोया। देख बुढ़ापन अब तो सोचो, क्या पाया क्या खोया। देर नहीं है अब भी बंदे, ले ले उसका काम रे। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। मेरे मन में राम, तन में राम, रोम रोम में राम रे। राम सुमिर ले, ध्यान लगा ले, जो जगत के नाम रे। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम राम राम। 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 बोलिए श्री अयोध्यापति राजा रामचंद्र की Jai. Having heard these well composed bhajans, let us take our minds toward the pages of Sri Ramcharitamanas, that lovely lake where Sri Ram in his incarnation he taught so many lessons. And all of us will know Ramayana Sumiran. So please join together. It's on the screen for those of you who don't know it. Please join with us. जो सुमिरत सिद्धि होई, गणनायक करिबर बदना, करो अनुग्रह सोई, बुद्धि राशि शुभ गुण सदना, मुख होई बंगो चढ़े गिरिवर कहना, जासु कृपा सो दयाल, द्रवो सकल करिमल दना, नील सरोरम तरुण अरुण पारिजनयना, करो सुमम पुरधाम, सदा क्षीर सागर सयना, कुंद इंदु समदेहा, कुमारमण करुणायना, जाहि दीन परनेहा, करो कृपा मर्दनमयना, बंदो गुरु पद कंज, कृपा सिंधु नरूप हरि, महामोह तम पूज, जासु वचन रवि कर जासु वचन रवि कर जासु वचन रवि कर। बोलिए श्री अयोध्यापति राजा रामचंद्र की जय।
Namaskar everyone. Thank you so much to Girish ji for starting us off with those lovely bhajans and for getting us in the mood for this pravachan. Now this is your time, so I want to urge you all to, relax your mind, forget about everything worldly, all your chores, forget about cooking, forget about work tomorrow and planning, all of those things. Just be here, be present in this moment. So let's get into the topic. Hope you all are buckled up and ready to, go on this Satsang highway. How many of us have ever planted a plant or a seedling, a flower? These days, Paramdam is on a serious flower drive. So this is a good example for all of us. For those of you who have, and even for the children looking on, I'm sure you can tell me what is needed for any plant to grow. After we've planted a seedling into the earth, what do? We water it. We ensure that it gets a lot of sunlight and we tend to it daily. What does this plant do in return? Well, the plant reacts with the external stimuli, takes in the external stimuli, like sunlight, oxygen, carbon dioxide, minerals from the soil, light. Plant then reacts with the carbon dioxide, the sun, the water. It produces what? Energy. Basically, energy. And after that, the plant releases oxygen, not so? It seems easy enough, right? The plant, the entity, takes in stimuli, reacts with it, and then produces it. It acts out into the world. It produces something beneficial. So just like the plant, we too do the same three things. We take in stimuli, we react with it, and we act in the world. Today our topic for discussion is Satsang, and I'm sure you all would have seen that because we advertised it. Satsang. Now what does Sat means? Sat means the good. And what does Sang mean? Sang refers to association. So together, when we combine these two words, Satsang, we get the association of the good. And it is also the association of truth. The Sat, is truth. Right? Or even from Sattva, purity, highest state, right? So just like the plant, we are all seedlings along this path of life, along this path of self-knowledge. In order for us to thrive, we need to have controlled, environment, have a controlled environment, controlled circumstances. In order for us to flourish, we need to be around the right environmental factors. When we are establishing values to that high extent, where the environment is converted by our presence, like the rishis and munis, then and only then, we'll say satsang is not required. But till then, we have to engage in satsang. To illustrate this more clearly, it is like putting a barricade around a seedling. That same plant from a previous example, where we put the barricade to help the plant survive, to keep, unnecessary thorns and everything away from the plant. When this plant now turns into a big tree, is the barricade necessary? No. Because the plant, the tree, is now firmly rooted. It can stand by itself. It can leave an impression. It can transform the environment. So in that case, in that way, only and then only, satsang is not required. So what is so special about satsang? short answer, everything. Let us look at this chaupai taken from Ramcharitmanas. And it says, Binu satsanga viveka na hoi, Ram kripa binu sulabha na soi. Here Tulsidas writes, without satsang, wisdom, or viveka, the ability to discriminate between the permanent and impermanent, is not awakened. And without God's grace, His kripa, it is not possible to hear satsang. This is a very lovely chaupai. In fact, kripa is a very important part of satsang. And I want to touch a little on that. We all want Bhagwan's kripa. Everybody wants Bhagwan's kripa. We think kripa is some sort of supernatural, benevolent act where Bhagwan himself comes and takes away our bad karmas and leaves us with a clean, fresh state. But this is not so at all. Because of Bhagwan's kripa, we are able to wake every day. Because of Bhagwan's kripa, this universe still exists. Because of His kripa, we go through these seemingly perilous moments in our lives and we rise above it. Another thing that we may say is, and this is a very common one, especially when it comes to going to the mandir, we'll say, well, I drank or I did something bad, and because of this, because of our guilt, we keep ourselves away from an environment that can truly uplift us. Doesn't seem smart now, does it? It is a function of human beings to make mistakes. So why guilt ourselves about it? And why keep ourselves away from a total conducive environment? One that can have a great impact on our intelligence. Why? Why do we do that? You see, friends, we are all seekers. We are sadhakas in this journey called life. And we all want to be happy. Being happy is our end goal, it's our ultimate goal. It is the sadhya. However, to be truly happy, all the seekers, all of us, we must do daily practice or daily sadhana. While it may seem very easy to do, most of us who are on the path can attest that it is not so easy. It is a little bit difficult, especially when you take into consideration from a very individualistic perspective, our own karmas, our impressions, our vasanas, or our home environment, or our work, a host of other factors that makes it not so easy for all of us. Point being, yes, doing sadhana and staying on the path, it is difficult. It requires effort. Yes, we know that. It requires even more effort, especially when guilt gets in the way. And I want you to remember this point. So to become happy, we must first want it. I mean, there's no way on earth for us to just go along and say, hey, the aim of my life is being happy. And I'll be happy before I die or when I die or whatever. You have to want that happiness. That desire must be an undying flame within the individual. It must be so great, so intense, that nothing else matters. Like, for example, a pregnant woman who's craving chocolate. You can give her doubles, you can give her pepper roti, biryani, whatever it is, she will just want that chocolate. That's all. So too, we must really want to be happy. To become happy, we must be able to discriminate or tell the difference between what gives us true happiness, permanent happiness, and what gives us unreal, well, fake happiness, temporary happiness, or sensation. Let's say sensation. So on one hand we have true happiness, and on the other, sensation. True happiness never dies, it's there no matter what, even though the situation and circumstances change. Sensation changes, it's temporary, it dies out after the moment has passed. So, let's just say, we want to go after work and take a drink. Let's talk about these examples, they are real examples, so let's discuss it. Say we want to go after work and take a drink. Especially when the workday is tough and we are worn out. We feel a sudden desire for release, to release some stress, to just relax, right? So alcohol is the first pick. It's an easy one. And so we drink this alcohol and it really brings us, relief, because for that short moment, it's in our mind and in our system. We forget all of our sorrows. We feel a sense of joy, but this joy doesn't last the next day when we go home and the alcohol is no longer in our system. No, it doesn't. So then what brings about true joy or true happiness? So to be permanently happy, first was sadhana. At least that's one step along the process to become truly happy, right? Now, I'm no one to judge anyone's, by virtue of the Shastras, and if you look at the Shastras, you'll see that Satsang is the most beneficial and preferred choice, the association of good. If Satsang is the company of the good, the truthful, the pious, with association with the ones who have already cracked this happiness code, like the great rishis, the munis, then why don't we engage in it? Why are we sometimes hesitant? Adi Shankaracharya writes in Bhaja Govindam, verse 9, Satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nishtalatatvam, nishtalatatve jivan muktihi. Through the company of the good, there arises non-attachment. Through non-attachment, there arises freedom from delusion. When there is freedom from delusion, there is the absolute reality. On experiencing this absolute reality, this truth, there and then comes a state of permanent happiness. So we may think that going to mandir, hanging out with good people, are just by the way experiences. But friends, look, we are seeing more than that. Tulsidashi has written about Satsang, now Adi Shankara has written about it. Clearly they are onto something. They are definitely onto something. Satsang is a lot more than that. I like to reference law, so forgive me, but in evidence law, the type of law concerned with the proof and presentation of facts, there's one golden rule. Every contact leaves a trace. Every contact leaves a trace. Think about it. Everything that we subject ourselves to leaves a mark on us. A mark that we cannot see. It leaves a great impression, something very subtle but deeply entrenched. If we subject ourselves to clubs, alcohol, drugs, then those things will leave their marks on us. We will become colored by that. On the contrary, if we subject ourselves to a positive environment, then good impressions remain with us. And again, Tulsidashi writes, Gagana chadhaya raja pavana prasanga, ki chahi nilai neech jal sanga, sadhu asadu सदन सुख सारी सुमिरहि राम देहि गणकारी. Through contact with the wind, dust ascends to the sky. But in contact with water, that same dust becomes mud. Parrots and mynas, nurtured in the homes of the virtuous and the wicked, repeat the name of Ram or curse, respectively. Are we seeing how important it is to be in the right environment? By joining a satsang, one can improve the quality of sattva in them and suppress the rajas and tamas. As the mind is drawn more and more into thinking centered around the divine, or discussion centered around the divine, or uplifting topics, either it could be a verse from the Gita, something, jnana based, or maybe just bhajans, something very, bhakti based, or even doing seva, our minds become fine-tuned to think only about that. And then also, the quality of our sattva increases. Satsang definitely helps people stabilize their minds. Now, beyond association, we are looking at association from a very external perspective. Let's talk some real talk. What about association within ourselves? What about the way we think? Even at a satsanga, the way we think, the friendship we have with our mind, our thoughts, even with God, that's also satsang. So, clear examples. So, for example, me, I'll use myself. I tend to be very rajasic sometimes, right? My mind can race off. Thoughts come dashing and cutting through one after the other, right? And it happens in record speed. Trust me. Those who know me, they know. This quality in me, it is not, is it satsang? Is it a good quality? Am I friends with my mind, friends with my thoughts? Am I letting the thoughts get the better of me, or do I get the better of my thoughts? Think about it. Clearly it's not satsang, right? More like kusang. But the moment you now refocus the mind through sadhana, through japa, through listening to something devotional, a bhajan or something, or attending satsang on a Sunday morning, or listening to a Thursday evening satsang, the more easy it is for your mind to stay along a righteous path. And when you expose your mind to things like that, you'll find that naturally only more and more and more and more positive thoughts come to your mind. You start thinking about great things, great philosophies, things that you don't understand. It just happens. What about friendship with God? I mean, we've seen great examples. If we were to look at many stories, like Krishna and Sudama, for example. Shiv just did that last week. Sudama, who befriended Shri Krishna, beautiful story. That friendship was satsang. And it's a timeless example. It's really beautiful. If we see God as our friend, rather than a dictator or somebody who's here to punish you, there'll be growth in your personality. You'll see a change. You'll actually see it in yourself. So, I know time is very short. This is a very broad topic. But in Ramcharitmanas, Sri Ram identified to Shabari Mata, 9 forms of devotion. And I don't have time to go into each one, but I'll just give you a list of them and I'll tell you a little bit about it. Because I think it's very important. And even if we adopt one of these types, then you can stay in Trinity as we reach. You adopt it and you be steadfast and you stay true to that path, then yeah, surely you're along the right path. So, Shravana, listening to the names, the greatness of God. Kirtana, singing or reciting the names of God, of Bhagwan. Smaranam, remembering the names of Bhagwan, remembering God. Padasevanam, serving his feet. Archanam, worshipping Bhagwan ritualistically. Vandana, offering obeisance or prostrating before Bhagwan. Dasyam, acting as a servant of Bhagwan. Sakyam, being friendly with God like Krishna and Sudama. And lastly, Atmanivedana, submitting or surrendering oneself completely and totally to God. Now, maybe it's me, but because I really love Hanumanji, so I kind of use him most of my examples. But when we look at Hanumanji himself, you'll see that he is a really perfect example of everyone who has these different, a person who has these different types of devotion, each of these 9 types of devotion to Bhagavan, to Sri Ram. And also he's special in the sense that anywhere Hanumanji went, he engaged in satsang. So when in Aranyakhan, when Sri Ram and Lakshman met Hanumanji, there and then, that was satsang. When Hanumanji was searching for Sita and Jambavan reminded Hanumanji of his greatness, that was also satsang. When he began darting across the ocean and came across Mainaka, Surasa, that was satsang. Hanumanji transformed them. Lankini even. In Lanka also, besides Lankini, when Hanumanji met Vibhishan, 2 devotees of Bhagavan coming together, that's great, most powerful satsang. And even when Hanumanji himself met Sita Ma, again, satsang. So look at the amount of examples. Being in satsang, being associated with the good, or transforming the lives of others. Hanumanji did that. So, I know this has been a very, very concise message for today, and I want to thank you all so much for taking your time to be here to listen. I hope you all enjoyed it. I now hand you over to Girish Ji to end, with the same mood that we started, a bhajan, and he'll also, do announcements. Namaste.
महादेव की जय, श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान स्वामी की जय, अयोध्यापति राजा रामचंद्र की जय. And after such a wonderful message, such an important and also a very relevant message in our society. Every day we are faced with choices. Every day we are faced with who to meet, what to do, choices to make. Viveka, to use that Vivek to make choices every single day, discrimination even. Like that, this lesson should be practiced, and these thoughts, so that we can find ourselves in satsang. As we have come to the end, our few announcements. Of course, our regular activities continue. For example, every Sunday morning, our Sunday morning sadhana continues at the ashrama at 7:30 a.m. A lovely, revitalizing, and a spiritually charging way for us to start our week. 7:30 a.m. For those of you who are joining us, please walk with some flowers that you can put by the murtis so that everyone can benefit as well. We have our yoga classes at the ashrama. Please contact the number on the ribbon right below so that you can become a part. On Saturday coming, on this Saturday, which is the 29th, we have our monthly Bhagavad Gita Parayana. This will be held in the St. Marlin area. The flyer is up on our Facebook page. So please spread the word, whereby we come and we sit in satsang. What do? Mananam. We remember that Lord via his song, that Bhagavad Gita. 701 verses we will be chanting. So from 10 a.m. we will be starting at the St. Marlin area. Our next month Bhagavad Gita Parayana actually is on the 7th of May, which is a Sunday morning. Sunday the 7th of May, we will be in Freeport at the Isha Ashrama together with Pandit Krishna Ramdeen. All of them, we will be joining together to chant Bhagavad Gita at 7 a.m. on the 7th. 7 a.m. on the 7th, we will be doing our Gita Parayana for May. So this Saturday we have, and then following Sunday we also have. These are all the announcements. Let us now join in one Kirtana, whereby we keep the name of that Lord close by. Having communication, having company of the Lord's name in our mind will transform us beyond what we can even expect. As we sit upright, as we focus on our internal self, as we focus on that supreme reality within us, as we focus on only the nitya qualities, we forget all the anitya that may be in this world. Everything that is physical is anitya. The only nitya, Ishvara, that supreme reality, Bhagwan Sri Ram, we focus upon him. Oh Lord, today help us to practice whatever we are doing. Help us to understand. Help us to see sense. Help us to be able to become a better human being. To uplift ourselves, hey Prabhu, by our own actions only. Oh Lord, this is our prayer. We surrender to that, Lord. Call out to the Lord. Chant his wonderful name. That Lord Rama, who is the internal witness of every being, every atom. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajama Harana Bhava Vajadaru Navakanjalochan Kanjamukhakai Kanjapada Kanjaru Shri Ram, all your devotion, all your bhakti, your entire body, your entire being. Let us sing, let us chant his name. Shri Ram, Shri Ram. Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu, Ma Kasyat Dukha Bhave. Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janardana Yat Pujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tarastu Me Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guru Hari Om. बोलिए श्री उमापति महादेव की जय. अयोध्यापति राजा रामचंद्र की जय. श्री गुरुदेव महाराज की जय. श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. Namaskar. Jai Sitaram. Until again, do keep safe.